My friends, the stakes could hardly be higher. Financing needs for sustainable development have increased dramatically, and we have all an obligation to work collectively to be able to successfully respond to these critical needs. Climate finance is critical to address mitigation and adaptation needs of countries. The most vulnerable, from the least developed countries to small island developing states, continue to shoulder the heaviest burdens, and at the same time, they are given the fewest resources. We need tangible progress for the most vulnerable. It was a wise person who once pointed out that strategy without resources is better called hallucination. We have come a long way. Since the end of the Second World War, the 80 years that we are now recognizing today as a key anniversary for the United Nations, let us at least recognize that the global economy has been transformed, that billions have been lifted out of poverty, that we have in fact seen a tremendous increase in living standards, in education and healthcare across the world. This progress does not only come from international institutions like the UN, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, but also from critical national and local efforts, what we call mobilizing domestic resources. This is what has helped to build the world we now live. It comes from not just governments, it comes from civil society, it comes from companies and workers who are creating wealth in partnership. Partnership is a word we have to get more used to as we see our resources around us dwindling. We simply must break down the silos that exist in every one of our institutions and between all of our institutions if we are going to succeed. But there is still an opportunity for us to reimagine how we can reinvest in the pillars of sustainable development: planet, peace, prosperity, and yes, once again, a word we must use often, partnership. Let me suggest this opportunity requires bold and sustained action in 4 key areas, and many of my colleagues from the podium have mentioned these as well. I just want to emphasize them. The first is that we have to close the financing gap for the Sustainable Development Goals. That is going to require greater resources from each and every one of us. Second, we have to continue to improve the global financial architecture to make it more representative, to make it more responsive, and to make it more resilient. All of the elements that this requires have been set out by the Secretary-General and the President. Third, we must build trust. Trust starts with each one of us having faith in ourselves. Trust means complete honesty and transparency and predictability in our relationships. Trust means renewing our commitment to multilateralism. I can't overemphasize how trust is the central key component to the world in which we live. Its presence makes everything happen. Its absence creates chaos. Fourth, we have to continue to fight our common enemies and at least have the recognition that they are our common enemies. Unilateral actions that destroy trust and create chaos, illicit financial flows and corruption that corrode the global economy and deprive it not of billions of dollars, but of trillions of dollars. We now have a multi-trillion-dollar challenge for the global economy that we must deal with. As the President of the Economic and Social Council, I'm very proud of our work over this past year, but I will not dwell on it. Most of all, I want to congratulate member states for bringing forward the ambition of the Seville outcome document, which we will be officially recognizing today, deepening our engagement with international financial institutions and strengthening the follow-up through enhanced monitoring, global dialogue, and regional and country-led action. And in particular, I'd like to give a shout-out, as the President did as well, and it was very beautifully done, to my colleagues who were the co-facilitators of this process. We are here because of their determination and because of everyone's willingness to compromise. I like the fact that it's called El Compromiso de Seville. It is a compromise. It's not a perfect document, but it is a better document for all the work that we put into it. And let us remember that it is not just a compromise that is a static document. It is a document that is a call and a commitment to action. Chers amis, voici le moment de croire dans le possible, que nous pouvons en effet construire un système financier qui est plus juste, qui est plus vert et qui peut mener vers cet avenir. Nous pouvons réformer nos institutions globales, nous pouvons créer des institutions qui reflètent mieux les réalités d'aujourd'hui et nous pouvons mobiliser toutes les ressources de la finance pour un développement durable, pour le climat et pour la justice sociale. Effectivement, c'est le multilatéralisme qui doit livrer, comme on dit dans mon pays, qui doit livrer la marchandise. Nous avons une obligation de montrer que nous pouvons faire notre travail. We are here in Seville to build a financial system that serves humanity. It sounds like an impossible task, but in fact, it can be done. But let me suggest a simple formula that the future is not inherited. Looking around this great city, we see what people built and have built over hundreds, indeed thousands of years. We inherit that, but we have to build other things. We have to build our own buildings, our new partnerships, our new political will. And if I may, I've done this before last week, so I have to ask the DG and the DSG to forgive me for repeating it, but I will because I think it's important to remember. It was a Canadian poet, Leonard Cohen, who pointed out that we should ring the bells that still can ring, but we should forget any notion of perfect offerings, because there is a crack. There is a crack in everything, and that's where the light gets in. We have to keep looking for this light. We have to bring the light into what it is that we do. And let us seize this moment. As we say in yet another language, not yet official at the United Nations, carpe diem. We have to seize the day, to pick the day, pick this time, to make this difference, to celebrate what we have done, but to recommit to the actions that are required. Thank you very much.
Doy las gracias al presidente del Consejo Económico y Social por su declaración y invito ahora al señor Aji Banga, presidente del Grupo Banco Mundial, a dirigirse a la conferencia.
Your Majesties, President